I know I'm a little late to the party with this whole NRS controversy surrounding Titanium Tiger's variation name being banned, and I want to get my thoughts on the whole situation. I know I'm late, but I need to speak on this because this is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. Now, just a bit of background on the banning before I get into my thoughts on it. Basically, Titanium Tigers was competing in an NRS competition. I think it was the pro competition. I was actually watching it go down, I saw it live. And his variation name for his Shiva said, "Why did NRS do this?" Now, like I said, he was using Shiva. Shiva is one of the most stupid characters. Shiva has one of the most stupid moves in the entire game, to the point where he was able to run through a sizable amount of the competition basically using one move, and this wasn't the first time it happened. I have watched Shivas in the pro competition several times basically just use the stomp and win the match. I actually recorded it on my phone and was laughing out loud to my friends at what I was seeing. Fam, I actually want you to pre this shit. I don't mean to come back to the Mortal Kombat chat and start, but like, bruv, Biohazard is not a stupid play. It's not some low level scrub online that doesn't have to deal with stuff, but look at this shit, man. How does NRS sleep at night? Thinking that they made a game where you have to use your brain, but the man's variation is brain off. Bro, come on, man. The head stomp can be delayed, it can be moved in the air, you can barely punish it on the way down, it can be amplified, and it has a crushing blow on it. So asking why NRS did this is a perfectly reasonable question to ask. So midway through the match suddenly stops, and the commentators inform us that Titanium Tigers had been disqualified for not following the rules. Not following the rules. Well, that turned out to be a lie. There is nothing in the pro competition rulebook that says he can't use that name. Literally nothing. Then someone said that a mod told him several times to change the name, which is also a lie, which Titanium Tigers also confirmed, and you only need to have one functioning brain cell to know why that is a lie, and I'll tell you why. Titanium Tigers hadn't used that variation on stream yet, so nobody could have seen the name. It was impossible to see it. It was only when the match started that people noticed the variation name, obviously. So when exactly did the mod tell him several times to change it? How could he have possibly done that? The man's playing a match, how could he see the message? That much should be obvious. So the lies aside, the bigger issue here is that NRS clearly cannot deal with criticism. The name wasn't derogatory, it didn't attack a kind of person, it wasn't racist, it wasn't a variation name with swear words in it. All it did was criticize NRS, a fair criticism to make, and they should be willing to take criticism. How can you be so touchy that you ban someone for that? Do you guys over at NRS think you're above criticism? Do you think that your game is in a good place right now? Do you think your game is above criticism? You literally stopped a whole tournament match over that variation name. Shiva is only one problem in this game. Mortal Kombat 11 is absolutely rife with issues, and it has been since day one. It hasn't really made leaps and bounds in improvements since day one, and I think we're coming up to 2 years now. All the people that were saying give it time, where are you now? How much more time are we going to give this game to be competent? And I also think that people are tired of being told that they're crap at the game or need to get better at the game if they criticize it. That argument is washed out, stupid, and boring. You don't have to be good at something to give it a critique. I'll give you a perfect example. Most boxing commentators, or most UFC commentators, or most martial arts commentators have not been in the ring or the cage for an extended period of time, or been in actual fights in the same way the mixed martial artists or the boxers have been. Yet they can give critique on the matches and they can commentate on what they're seeing. You might have more insight if you're at Sonic Fox's level, but it doesn't take a brain surgeon to see crappy mechanics in MK11 and the poor balancing over the overall systems in the game. That would be like saying John Aki can't tell John Jones to not poke someone in the eye because it's not fair and it's not in the rulebook. That is stupid. Just because he's not a martial artist, that would be dumb. People think because it's not as nutty as MK11 or MKX that it's balanced, and I've got to say that is also one of the dumbest things I've heard as well. All they did was tone down the offense in this game. The offensive mechanics have been toned down, but they forgot to properly balance their variation system, and the variation system is really where this game goes to die. The variation system is all over the place. It doesn't know what it wants to be or where it's going. Some characters have absolutely horrible moves that take up to 2 slots, and some characters have super powerful moves that take up 1 slot and don't clash with other moves that would otherwise make them weaker. And then you have some characters who have to choose between having a powerful powerful move and they lose one in place of the other because it would make them too powerful. There's no consistency anywhere. The balancing act with the variations is terrible, and I am only scratching the tip of the iceberg when it comes to issues in Mortal Kombat 11. Now, does Mortal Kombat 11 have good things about it? Sure, we have spoken about the good things about Mortal Kombat 11. You can point out good things about MK11 for sure, but for every good thing you point out, there are 10 bad things that follow. It is what it is. I think it was Dragon on Twitter, maybe it was someone else, don't quote me on that, but someone said that this is the hardest game to beat a scrub at, and truer words have never been spoken. Never before have you played a game, been at a decent level and struggled to beat a scrub like you do in MK11. This game, like I said in one of my previous videos, is a scrub's paradise. You are able to get away with copious amounts of BS, more so than any other modern fighting game, in my opinion at least. It is less broken than previous NRS games, yes, of course. I don't think it's broken at all actually. What I think it is an unfinished, unpolished, unrefined, just the guys at NRS really didn't have a solid direction for where they wanted this game to go. So yeah, saying why did NRS do this is a perfectly normal thing to say. It did not violate any rules, the mods lied, and NRS basically silenced one of their players, which effectively sent out a message to all of the other players to either fall in line, not criticize NRS, or face a ban. Face getting kicked from the pro competition, face not making some money whilst we're in lockdown. Now my message to NRS, if you are listening, you're probably not. You don't really listen to anyone for whatever reason. You have to be willing to accept constructive criticism. Are there haters with nothing constructive to say? Of course, that goes for anything in life. But do you use that reason to shut down all conversation or critique? No. Your games will not improve to where they need to be if you don't. Titanium Tigers was clearly making a statement on stream, and his statement was coming to fruition. He was stomping on everyone. He was using one move to beat very, very good players. Now, MK11 is a frustrating game because it seems like they took 3 steps forward and then 10 steps back. It's a disappointing precedent to set. It kind of echoes the silencing of opposing views, and we see that on social media happening right now. If someone has an opposing view to the popular view, they get silenced, and that is basically what you did here. He said something that you guys don't like. He didn't swear at you, he didn't say anything inflammatory, he actually said something quite factual. Why would someone release a character in that state? You didn't like it, and you banned him from your competition. That is ridiculous, that is low-hanging fruit, and you guys should be better than that. Myself and the community only want what is best for this game going forward, and I wish I could say the same for you. It seems like you're more interested in selling characters to us that are unfinished and just grabbing that cash. Shiva is an absolutely ridiculous character, and that was clear. It was clear as day that you did not test her before releasing her, much like a lot of the other characters and variations in this game, and it's becoming a trend that is all too familiar with NRS games. I don't even understand how they could release that character in that state, and before anyone comes in with the tired old argument of give it time before you talk, please save it. Nothing has been more clear. If you think that that move is okay, if you think Shiva's okay, and if you think MK11 is in a good state right now and you just need to give it some more time to breathe so that it can develop into something more, then I have a bridge to sell you. Have a good day.